My colleagues or my friends will always say, why you're so young, you're so fit, but you are always sick.
Sounds like what, 6 years ago? Quite crazy. I never really stopped training ever since I got diagnosed.
When they look at me, they wonder like, is this guy really sick or what? And it's hard for me to explain it to them, and I don't blame them because they really don't know. They don't know like what I'm experiencing. I think my main challenges is really when the flare comes. You know, when it's really bad, I can't really get out of bed. It's quite demoralizing that you have to struggle to get out of bed. Today, I can feel like my left SI joint is a bit awkward. But okay, overall, I think once I warm up, then I think I'll be feeling much better. But a bit tired because a little bit painful at night. When the pain is 10 upon 10, it's like a stabbing pain, which means I can't really walk properly, to feeling fatigued the entire day. And one thing is that the pain is within myself and I look normal. So like, I can't really like tell people like I'm in pain. I'm gonna have to use my left leg mainly, keep my right leg extended. It's a bit tough. I didn't go in for work today and I'm currently limping. The pain is currently at 6 or 7 when I'm resting, but when I'm walking it's gonna be 8 or 9. Yeah, so it's this anti-inflammatory medicine. It's basically an NSAID, like non-steroids kind. But basically it just cures the inflammation in my body, which allows me to be able to, you know, work a little bit better without pain and without any discomfort.
For autoimmune diseases, it just means that our immune system went haywire. It just went crazy and is attacking different parts of your body. So it can attack any part and then that result in a different autoimmune disease. The statistics says there are about 80 to 100 different kind of autoimmune diseases, and how it can affect a person really varies.
Before I was diagnosed, I used to do Muay Thai, play football, you know, everything that a teenager would do. Now like I can't play football, which was really one of my passions, without getting a flare the next day. So we're going to Toa Payoh Central first, then we will get to Raffles Place, which then we walk to my office. Because I don't drive, so I take the public transport most of the time. On the train, I would say that like, even if my leg hurts really badly, I will limp a bit here and there, but I will definitely not take the seat. I will just like endure the pain. The beauty of my invisible illness is that, you know, people don't immediately discriminate me, and it's really easy for me to, you know, blend in and look normal, unless I'm limping. So I'm currently working in the insurance industry, and I'm sure you know there's a couple of norms that a guy insurance agent would have. For example, carrying a briefcase or clutch, simply because it makes us look more professional. That, I think, brings about a few challenges for me. When I first joined, people were wondering like, why this guy, you know, he's 29 and he's carrying a backpack still. One way that they tried to hint to me, right, is like, oh, you know, I saw at Muji, there's this briefcase, it's really like cheap and it's below 100, you know, you can get it.
Have you ever wondered like why he uses a backpack instead of clutch?
Not really, but I think because like Abrial gyms, like he gyms quite a lot, so I would think it's like basically to put his gym attire.
If I recall, like one of the backpacks like look a bit kiddie, then I asked you like, hey, why you carry this?
But there's a very particular reason why I do it. It's simply because of the weight distribution of a backpack is very much better than a briefcase or a clutch. Anything that slings on one side or adds weight on one side is just like not good for my SI joints. And I realized that like my flares are getting more often.
Do you know that when he has inflammation flares, the pain can be so bad that he cannot even get out of bed?
Oh, okay. I have no idea. Yeah, I thought it was just like maybe like a feeling of a sprain or something like that. I didn't know it was that bad lah.
You know the idea that I've been thinking about it. I think
Mabel was quite sensitive towards it in the start. Like he didn't want anyone to know. I was the only one that was aware of his condition, and no one else. When he was trying to explain to me why and sick leaves get longer and longer, you could tell that he might think that I'm doubting him, and then there's this guilt on his face.
I think it's day 2 of my inflammation and it hasn't gotten better. In fact, it gotten a bit worse. So much so that every time I sneeze right now, it hurts quite badly. A sharp pain of like 7 out of 10. Standing up every time after I sit down, you can feel how bad it becomes.
So for young adults that are diagnosed with autoimmune diseases, there are definitely many who can go to work daily. And even though they may face some tiredness or some pain, but they can cope with it. On the other spectrum, especially let's say if you have a major flare, you will be hospitalized. Sometimes workplaces may not be very understanding as well. There are definitely some members who also choose not to reveal about their autoimmune diseases at their workplace because they fear that there is stigma, that they may be passed out for promotions, and that they may be judged by their colleagues.
I'll be heading to the boxing gym now to just get my workout in for the day.
even if I was to wear the lanyard, I'm quite skeptical that people will give up the seat for me.
Have you ever asked someone to give up their reserved seat to you?
Never, I never asked before. I mean, it's quite scary to worry about what people will think about you, especially when I look like that, I look normal.
Even if it's very painful, you just
I probably alight at one stop when I take a cab.
I remember there was once that I actually ran out of glucose tablets and I was going really, really low on sugars. This would mean that I'm quite disoriented. I might even faint. That day, the MRT was pretty crowded, but when somebody got up, I actually went to take the reserved seat. I did get some dirty looks from some people because there were some older people around. Yeah, but it was very difficult to try to explain to people because they cannot see physically anything wrong with me.
We often joke that if there's some visible sign of our autoimmune disease, then people understand more. But because our symptoms are so invisible, from chronic fatigue to really aches, and of course everybody say, hey, I also ache, my leg also ache every day, you mean I have autoimmune disease. It's really when you experience it on a daily basis, and even walking, climbing stairs is really an issue.
Actually, it's not very high impact on my legs. At least I don't feel the pressure, and it's not that bad on the upper body as well. In fact, boxing has given me less flares than gymming itself.
Let's say if you're doing on the back workouts, some parts of his joints are feeling off a bit. We constantly need to remind him, go relax a bit on the back. If you want to go too hard, just work on your techniques and you'll be fine.
When I was first diagnosed, I think it's a mix of emotions. I think it took me about 3 to 4 years before I became a little bit more vocal, a little bit more accepting of the illness itself. Even though I had the condition, I wanted to feel that I was normal and I didn't want to get left out by things. What helped me come to terms with the illness, was a few things. I think the first thing was actually me writing a post about my illness itself. I think I was quite frustrated that I'll keep having to explain myself. I wanted somewhere where I could just type out everything once and for all, my thoughts, how I feel. From that post onwards, I think I started to think about the resources or support groups that we have in Singapore, and which I knew there were one. I'll be going to the National Arthritis Foundation now to actually do up a sharing. It's my first time, so I'm actually quite nervous. I'm going to meet other patients, I think some new faces. So I think I'll be seeing the different spectrum of arthritis patient and then see how they would share what they're going through with me. Morning, everyone. Okay, maybe I start lah. We'll be asking a couple of questions on, for example, like what have you been diagnosed with? How have you been coping with it?
I'm 23 this year. So I also diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis when I was 21. Yeah. So I'm currently a medical student.
I'm 66, married with 2 daughters, grown up. I'm having this rheumatoid arthritis.
I'm 25 this year. I was diagnosed in 2021, but the symptoms first appeared when I was in Taiwan trip, like 2019.
I share it with my colleague. Then I say, I have health condition, that's why I cannot go on to construction site to work. She just asked, what is the condition you have? They also say, isn't this for elderly? Your mileage, then you can get it, not so young, and then you female also.
It's not just back pain, but I had like some joint pain as well. I may look very healthy, and hence it doesn't really raise any suspicion among my friends. But if times where I'm really down or really tired, it's sometimes nice to always be asked about how are you feeling. But don't try to push for an answer.
The support group opened up my eyes towards like how there were so many different walks of life, right, suffering from the same condition. I used to actually work in a corporate company, so I traveled quite a bit. And I wonder how the plane rides actually, cause you any discomfort.
It's definitely tough, especially as you get older, because everything feels. The whole spine is going to be like this as you age.
It's kind of physical demonstration that everybody can see better what is your feel spine. The center part of this spine, I don't mind sharing with you, chatting out also, you can feel it. You basically get a stood position.
Of course, sometimes physically you can tell there's some changes, but their mental and their emotional aspect of life, it's very positive and happy. They have a family, they are doing well in their job, they are doing well in life. From there, I started to be a little bit more accepting because I realized that the outlook could be very positive as well. I learned a lot during this session, and every time I come for something like this, I learn even more. Everyone generally still very positive, Mr. Chu also. Yes, I think everyone. Thank you everyone. Thank you. Knowing that there are people beside me who are struggling the same exact way as how I feel. I'm not alone in this fight with this illness itself.
Who come back? Abrial come back. I was surprised that how come he got this illness. When we asked him, he said it's through genes. So someone has passed on to him, either one of us, right? So I feel a bit guilty, lor. How come I can pass such an illness to him? So that's where I feel sad. Who? Your colleague?
My poly friend.
What does your future partner need to know?
There might be days where I'm feeling extremely tired. She may need to support me to walk around, or there might be days where we might be out on a date and suddenly the illness hits, the flare comes. It might look awkward in public that she needs to carry, an adult man walking around who looks fit.
I also worried if let's say he get married down the road and then he has his own children, then what will happen?
I think in the future, despite having this condition, right, I'm still going to have my own children. It's a chance I'm willing to take because I feel like life is still worth it to go through.
Why do you want to share your story with us?
I think mainly it's for awareness. So I hope this video or what can bring more awareness to people who are suffering silently. I don't know, I think sometimes very hard to be understood. Yeah, quite tired sometimes. Having this condition has made me a lot more grateful for little things and also more empathetic about a lot of other people's struggles. When I meet someone now, I always will ensure that even though I may have a first impression or a judgment towards this person, there's always two sides of the coins. He or she looks great doesn't mean they are not going through something behind as well. Doesn't mean what I see in front of me is the real story. There may be another story behind it.